Welcome to all the high vibrational beings of love and light. Today I wanted to talk about my gratitude that I have been putting out to the universe, into the ether, for not just myself, but for the collective. So when I started that journey and placing a time limit, I guess, of 111 days on this, it was a challenge that had been given by somebody else that I follow. And I thought, what a great way to try to motivate me to get on YouTube every day. Now, the reason that I chose gratitude initially was because I needed to have something that I could easily do while being sick. Since I am currently figuring out a new level of physical healing that I'm dealing with and working through, and when I do get through that process, I do plan to discuss how I have overcome it. Like, I will be discussing my mold and mycotoxin protocol. But the biggest thing about that was I only have a certain amount of energy each day that I'm able to work with. And as the days go on with this, some days are harder to get online to even do a 2 to 3 minute gratitude. And it's not just the gratitude, it's just being able to put my energy out there in this way. So for me, it was a challenge to not just say, hey, gratitude is a great thing for helping myself in my healing, to keep me in positive vibrations, which that's what we need to be in to heal all levels, but especially in our physical level. And we should be doing gratitude anyways daily. I had been working with gratitude daily, but not necessarily every day if I wasn't feeling well. So it was a really cool challenge for me to say, no matter how I'm feeling, sorry about that. No matter how I'm feeling, this is something that will not only benefit me, but it'll benefit the collective on a whole. Because if I'm keeping my vibration high, at least for 2 to 3 minutes a day, for myself, for my own personal healing, I'm expanding it into the collective. It's just another being expanding this type of, here, sorry, someone's driving on the ice. Let me see if I can get that here. Sorry. Lots of people ice fishing right now. So sorry. I could hear the truck in the background. Anyways. So the thought process here is, not only am I helping myself to stay high vibrational, in turn helping myself heal, but I'm contributing to the collective healing and expansion and upliftment, as well as making myself accountable on a daily. And even though I want to be speaking more about ways that I have intuitively healed myself, I don't always have the energy. And if any of you have been following me, you know I only have a certain amount of energy each day. Sometimes I have to tape from bed. Sometimes I have just enough energy to get to the bathroom and back and get myself something to eat and drink. Ensuring that I'm at least putting good food and good water in my body, and if I feel called to, certain supplements each day. And like I had mentioned, I will be talking and discussing about my healing protocols that have helped me what's the word? Sorry. See, this is the brain fog. And this is another reason I have not been able to talk about how I intuitively heal myself. It's very frustrating to not be able to find your words. And a lot of that I've been finding now through this healing process, this current one, is because a lot of what I'm currently dealing with is in my gut. And what do we have in our gut? We have 3 chakras: our root at the base, our sacral. Well, so the root is red at the base. The sacral is the orange, right in our, right above our genital area. And then the solar plexus is in our diaphragm area as a yellow. And that's where the majority of us, especially if you're following my channel and you're coming from a dysfunctional, toxic, emotionally immature environment, parasitic environment, we're going to hold a lot of anger in our liver. And that is one of the issues I'm dealing with right now. I will speak on that right at this current moment, because it's something I have been in tune with, knowing that there's energy that I am not attending to, that I need to release. I mean, I knew I needed to release it, but I wasn't connecting the dots that it was affecting my health as much as it was. I was so focused on what's happening on the 3D that I can, tangibly and see and, know and get tests done and go, oh, it's this or it's that. I can, put focus into reducing iron levels or reducing certain toxins out of my body and make sure that I'm eating certain foods or adding certain supplements in and certain herbs to be able to address that. One of the things, and I might get emotional speaking about this, because one of the things when you're an adult child coming from an emotionally immature family, being an empath, being an intuitive, highly, highly sensitive person that is coming from that people-pleasing type of background. I will speak on myself, but I'm sure others, I feel that this collective that is resonating with my channel will feel this, that I'm rationalizing that I'm holding on to anger that I don't even know exists. Because I'm seeing more and more through this process and through my healing and awakening that since I was never allowed to show anger among any other feeling, but especially anger, and anger is held in our liver. So if you're somebody who came from that environment, you're more than likely somebody who deals with gut issues, GI issues. And they will call the Western medicine will call them many different things. There's anything that's in the gut, more than likely, like I say, has a root of inflammation, but more than likely also has a root of anger being held in the liver that needs to be released, that stuck anger energy. So I was thinking about this today and speaking with my spirit team, okay, I'm rationalizing, I'm aware that I have some anger that I need to release in my gut, in my liver. Help me release this. What is this? I need to now start asking the right questions. What is this anger? And I know that we don't necessarily need to know the exact anger. We just need to feel it. But that's my issue, is I got really good at disassociating apparently from my anger, because I was never allowed to show it. And if this resonates with you, and if you're even watching this up to this point, I'm sure it resonates with you as well. So think about this for yourself, especially if you have gut issues right now. And if you're a lover, not a fighter type of person, if that is, a cliche statement that resonates for you, and you can say, yeah, I definitely would prefer to be in love than hate. And I try to avoid that. In fact, and if you're somebody that tries to avoid confrontations, which for me, yeah, I did that so many times, so much throughout my life. And so going through therapy for myself, I was shown that I was holding on to emotions that I didn't even know existed. And I keep learning every day that anger is one that I don't even know how to feel it, because I never had the opportunity to feel it in my life. So that's an interesting one that I am currently in process of learning how to first feel. What is this? What is this anger? And being able to allow myself to feel that. So one of the ways that when I start getting into this, and I had said maybe I would get emotional, but I feel like I can feel myself trying to hold it back a little bit, but I'm trying not to, because that's another topic I want to talk about, and I won't get into it too big on this video because I want to keep this under 15 minutes. But the fact that our society is so afraid of crying and tears are scalar waves and portals for release into higher dimensions. You can release when every time you cry, a release. You're releasing a stuck energy, a stuck emotion. And so if that's a way for you to release, you want to cry. So who gives a shit about anybody that's like, oh, I hate all these people that are online crying. It's like, I say cry more, people. Like, if people are uncomfortable, that's their issue. That's their projection. That's their own unhealed trauma within themselves. And there's a lot, because there's a lot of unhealed people on our planet. So there's going to be more people hating on this. And the word I've seen used often is cringing at people crying. So I feel like I want to start a movement of showing people that we need to cry. We have to cry, because it's a way for us to release what we don't even know exists. And for me, when I start feeling into questions like that, when I start asking, like, Spirit, like, what is this anger? Help me release this stuck anger. And when I start getting into that, and I'm in my space with, on my own, I'll start crying, and sometimes it'll go hard. In my opinion, a released tear is different than just a random tear. It's thicker. For me, it's thicker, and it doesn't run as fast down your cheek. It kind of like just works its way down your face and you want to try to let it fall and go where it wants to go before you try to wipe it. When I'm online, or if I'm taping, I'll probably be wiping usually when I cry, only because it just distracts me a little bit. And so anyways, I know I've kind of jumped around a little bit here, but this is something I've been really thinking about lately, and I'm sure there's a lot of others that are coming from these toxic environments that are sensitive, highly, highly sensitive people. And I am telling you, cry. Who gives a shit about what anybody else thinks? In fact, cry more because of that. Fuck that shit, Fuck them. Who cares? Trigger them. Trigger the fuck out of them. Because they need to heal too if they have issues. We all, it shouldn't be such a stigma in our society. And it is, in the same way that mental health is. It's all part of the same, agenda that the powers that were, they don't want us to heal. So of course they're going to place stigmas like this out in the public, because they want us to not cry, because they know it's a way for us to heal and to release our traumas and our anger. I had seen an article specifically on something CNN, obviously I don't typically subscribe or follow anything like that. But it was when I started researching, crying and tears and the way that society views it. I was just trying to, because I didn't know that. And actually it was like a search that came back at me, and I didn't even pose the question to my AI spirit that speaks to me that way. And I had seen this article, and I was like, look at this super, propaganda news media outlet is obviously, ran by the top 1% and promoting and having, a reporter report on, how people think it's cringy to cry. So anyways, this was just a thought I had. I had some energy today, and I wanted to just start this discussion and letting you know that if you're somebody that, you know, resonates with being empathic, highly sensitive, people pleasing, coming from a dysfunctionally toxic environment of emotionally immature, karmic narcissists, that you're most likely holding anger, whether you're encountering stomach issues or not. Because that's the thing, is a lot of us will be building this before it becomes a physical symptom. And I know part of my journey of dealing with it right now is to be able to help others and guide others that are wanting that assistance and how to get up and out of that, because the medical system does not want to help you heal from that. And those issues will, if not attended to, you know, they can take you down in ways that they do not have to. We can heal from everything. And I'm definitely proof of that. So once I can get through my current issue, I will definitely be posting more information about what I'm actually dealing with and how to overcome it, as well as anybody that is dealing with like mold and toxins in general, or stomach issues in general. I will be posting more information about ways to heal from all of that. So as always, thank you for watching.